Hey, this is Keith Weinhold from the Get Rich Education Podcast. You are listening to my friend John Larson in the Real Estate Cowboys. Don't quit your daydream.
Hey everybody, it's Robert Helms, host of the Real Estate Guys radio show, and you are listening to the Real Estate Cowboys.
Have you thought about becoming financially free through real estate investing, but don't have the time or knowledge to get started? Welcome to the Real Estate Cowboys podcast. Each week, we discuss passive income investment opportunities in the red-hot Texas market. John Larson and the Real Estate Cowboys will show you how to leverage their team to build wealth in real estate through passive investment opportunities. And now, here's John.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Cowboys. This is your host, John Larson. This week, we are talking about 10 real estate investment books you absolutely must read. Now, for successful real estate investors out there, you're always learning more, right? From what I know in real estate, really anything, but real estate especially, it's constantly changing. I don't believe there's anybody out there that knows everything there is to know about real estate. Real estate is it's a constantly moving thing. The market goes up, it goes down. You know, different markets, they change over time, right? Like, for example, Detroit used to be a top 5 metro in the entire U.S. Now it's somewhere in the teens, I believe. Now you look at the growth of what we're experiencing in Texas, Dallas, and Houston, and Austin, and San Antonio. All of these cities are just on a major, major growth spurt. So markets change, areas of the country change for whatever reason, and that's going to dictate the real estate market. So I believe, you need to make sure that you're constantly educating yourself and actually on the basic practices of real estate, right? And reading other people's stories, reading other people's experiences. So when something like that comes up and a similar experience, you kind of know how to handle it, right? You don't really ever want to be caught off guard in this industry. You kind of want to position yourself to be ready for anything. And so I believe, these books that I'm going to name here are just some of my favorites. But I believe these are some books that you should read in order to better prepare yourself for, investing in real estate or preparing yourself for problems because they will come. And like I said, taking other people's firsthand accounts of how they solved a problem or when a problem came up, how they tackled it, how they attacked it, how they got out of it will really help you down the road. And just knowing the basic principles of real estate investing in and out will make it a lot easier on you when making decisions on where to invest your money. What markets to invest your money in, what class of property to invest your money in, what type of properties to invest your money in, single family homes, commercial, retail properties, land, vacation properties, whatever it may be, or just private lending, you just want to become a lender, whatever it may be. It's good to constantly be reading and educating yourself on the different options that are available to you. And like I said, just getting knowledge from people who are more so, experts in the industry and have been around the block a few times, right? They've experienced recessions. They've experienced great times with real estate. And it's good to kind of hear how they navigated through a recession, right? How they navigated through a downtime in the market or how they took advantage of a recession to make a boatload of money, right? Because I'm a firm believer in going into any recession cash heavy and buying up as much real estate as you can because real estate's never going to go to zero and it's always going to rebound, right? Things looked pretty bleak back in 2008, but they're not looking so bleak today. The real estate market is as hot as it's ever been. So let's get into it. Just before we get into the first book, I would just like to remind everyone that, whether you're a new or experienced real estate investor, it only makes sense that you'd want to educate yourself as much as possible, right? Even myself, I've been in real estate now for the better part of a decade. And I don't know everything. There's still problems that I need to tackle every day, things that pop up that I didn't see coming, right? So it's just good to constantly be reading and educating yourself and talking with other investors, and learning from other investors, going to conferences, going to expos, going and just learning from people that have been doing it for longer than you and may have done more deals than you, right? Because real estate is all about it's doing it. It's taking action. You're never really just going to learn from reading a book. It'll give you the basic principles and give you some guidelines and give you some advice. But really, you got to get your hands dirty in this industry. That means you got to start buying properties. Try and flip a property yourself. Understand what goes into renovating properties. It's not easy. Understand what goes into managing general contractors that are managing crews and all that sort of stuff on the rehab side. It's very time consuming. It's not as easy as you think. And it's tough to do. And if you don't know what you're doing, if you've never rehabbed a house before, it's going to be really hard to manage your general contractor. You're basically just going to be taking his word for it when it comes to pricing or time frames or whatever it may be. So it's really good to kind of get your hands dirty and do one yourself. So then you kind of understand what things cost. You understand how long things take to get done. So your general contractor is not going to take advantage of you at that point. Definitely educate yourself as much as possible, as I said. And there are many, many different real estate investment books to choose from, but the ones I've chosen stand out as absolute must-reads in my mind. And the first one is The ABCs of Real Estate Investing, The Secrets of Finding Hidden Profits Most Investors Miss by Ken McElroy. And so whether you're just starting out in real estate investing or a veteran of the field, it always helps to have a handy guide to turn to when you need a bit of guidance, okay? Because it's going to happen. And so what Ken does in this book is expertly break down the many concepts that are relevant to this specific industry of real estate investing. And in order to become fluent in the language of real estate, you must first learn the ABCs, and that's precisely what this book is all about, okay? Number 2 is a book by Robert Kiyosaki, which is Rich Dad, Poor Dad, What the Rich Teach Their Kids About the Money that the poor and middle class do not. Okay, and this has really got some great principles. And it's not just about real estate. It goes into detail about how two men greatly influence his attitude and perspective on money. And so it's not all about real estate, but it provides a lot of useful tips, right? And just mindset when it comes to investing and things like that. So that's a really, really good one by Robert Kiyosaki. Number 3 is How to Invest in Real Estate for Beginners by Tony Copperfield. And so moving from one career and then transitioning into real estate is not going to be easy, but it can be done if you have a good grasp on what to do when you're just starting out. In Tony's book, he's unafraid to break things down to the simplest terms so that the readers are able to understand everything that they must. Also covered in the book are the common pitfalls that can victimize beginners in the industry. I would read this book to figure out how to expertly avoid those mistakes for sure. So this gives you a lot of good tips on how to get started. Great book in terms of just understanding, because there are a lot of pitfalls when it comes to real estate investing. And if you're new to it, you're not really going to understand the nuances of it. You're not going to really understand all the pitfalls that are associated with it. There's going to be people that are going to try and take advantage of you, contractors specifically, even brokers and agents that are just trying to make a sale and talk you into a deal that's not the greatest deal. But so you got to know how to analyze deals. You got to know how to analyze markets. You got to know how to analyze comps. You need to know all that stuff, and you need to know what goes into renovating properties. I'm telling you, it's not as easy as you think, and you need to understand the ins and outs and what things cost to really be a professional real estate investor. Number 4 is What Every Real Estate Investor Needs to Know About Cash Flow and 36 Other Key Financial Measures by Frank Gallinelli. So even if you're able to understand the more complex aspects of real estate investing, that knowledge really won't be enough to propel you to the top. Managing your cash flow correctly is just as crucial to your success. So this book is all about teaching readers what they need to know about operating incomes, cap rates, and numerous other essential financial terms. So this is really good on the financing side and how to manage your money and how to manage your cash flow when you're building a rental portfolio, you're bringing in passive income through real estate. So definitely recommend this one as well. Number 5 is the book on tax strategies for the savvy real estate investor. Powerful tips anyone can use to deduct more, invest smarter, and pay far less to the IRS. This is by Amanda Hahn and Matthew McFarland. This is a great book to read when it comes to the tax savings that are available to you. Okay, it gives you the tax strategies that you need to know. So when you're sitting down with your CPA, you're taking advantage of all the tax benefits that are available to you when owning real estate. And I agree, tax-related matters with real estate can become very complex very quickly. If you don't stay on top of them, they can become your personal nightmare for sure. And so what this book aims to do is provide you with a handy guide for dealing with the intricacies of real estate taxes. The tips included in the book should also help you effectively cut down the amount of time you have to spend working on your taxes. Okay, so that's 1 through 5. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will discuss the other 5 books that I recommend to you if you're starting out in real estate, or if you're just trying to brush up and learn more about real estate investing, just making yourself a better investor, right? And the great investors that I know read daily. They're always reading new books. And it's not just necessarily about real estate. It's about mindset. It's about motivation. It's about, there are a lot of books out there that just like talk about the entrepreneurial spirit. which I believe all real estate investors have that entrepreneurial spirit. So, I recommend beefing up on some of that stuff too. Motivational books, books about entrepreneurship, books that talk about people's success or failures in real estate or really in any industry, because you could apply those success and failures, those experiences to your own life and your own profession. So I definitely recommend books like that as well. But when we come back from the commercial break, we'll finish off with the last 5 books and also one honorable mention. Stay tuned to the Real Estate Cowboys.
Looking to complete a 1031 tax-deferred exchange and are needing financing for your replacement properties? Let Graham Parham at Highlands Residential Mortgage guide you through the process and make your 1031 exchange go smoothly and on time. As a seasoned investor, Graham owns several investment properties himself, and he can share with you the best way to plan your exchange. Graduate into a better property or properties and make use of leverage to obtain better cash flow and higher returns on investment. Highlands Residential Mortgage has one of the best in-house loan processes to deliver your loan on time and without any surprises. We are 1031 exchange friendly. Call Graham's toll-free direct number today at 855-326-6802 for your free mortgage consultation, or visit us online at texasinvestorloans.com. Highlands is an equal opportunity lender, NMLS 195724, located 1201 North Central Expressway, Dallas, Texas 75234. Highlands Residential Mortgage, NMLS 134871, is not a financial advisor.
And welcome back from that commercial break. This is your host, John Larson. We've already gone through 1 through 5 on the 10 books that I recommend for anybody that's looking to brush up on their real estate investing skills. These are books that I believe are absolutely must-reads. So now we're on number 6, and that would be The Millionaire Real Estate Investor by Gary Keller, Jay Papasan, and Dave Jenks. So with anything, experience, as they say, is the best teacher, right? In this collaborative effort by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan of the real estate franchise Keller Williams, as well as Dave Jenks of the Free Enterprise Warriors, the readers can learn more about the experiences in real estate by over 100 millionaire investors. Pretty good. You can create your own investing guidelines based on the lessons provided by the people featured in this book in order to boost your chances for success. So you're going to have, basically, you're going to learn from experiences in real estate by over 100 millionaire investors. That's 100 successful people in real estate that you'll be learning from in this book. So I definitely recommend this one as well. Number 7, the book on rental property investing, How to Create Wealth and Passive Income Through Smart Buy and Hold Real Estate Investing by Brandon Turner. If you've heard of Brandon Turner before, probably associated with Bigger Pockets. So this is a book if you're more interested in rental properties and how to manage them most effectively. This book, written by Brandon, sheds a light on how investors should handle their rental offerings. It contains specific pointers for better financing, and it applies to all kinds of investors. You'll also be given a variety of detailed investing strategies that you can try out yourself. So, book on rental property investing. So this is for my rental property investors out there that are listening to the show. This is a good book that you should read for sure. Number 8, the book on estimating rehab costs. Now, I love this one, right? I've mentioned already twice, 2 or 3 times on this episode that you should really know what goes into renovating properties. Your money is won and lost on acquisition and on rehab. You never want to overpay for a property. Definitely want to get the property for as low under market value as you can, right? Because that's going to build that buffer for that rehab budget for you, but then also give you that larger margin so you can make greater profits on these flips. But the money is won and lost on the acquisition, and the money is won and lost on the rehab. You really, like I said, you need to know how to find good deals. You need to know that you're buying a good deal, right? You cannot take a broker or real estate agent or a wholesaler's word for it. They'll talk you into it. They're trying to make a sale. You need to know how to underwrite good deals. If you do that, and then you marry that with the fact that you know how to professionally renovate a property, you know what things cost, you know how much time it takes to remodel a bathroom or to do some flooring in a 2,000 square foot house. You know what goes into that stuff, right? Because you've done it before or you're familiar with it, right? Fixing and flipping houses has become a cottage industry unto itself. If you've always been curious about what flipping a house entails, then it would be well worth your time to check out this book. The book on estimating rehab costs, the investor's guide to defining your renovation plan, building your budget, and knowing exactly how much it all costs by Jay Scott. This is a great, great read. The book gets you into how you need to approach potential properties to flip. It will provide you with guidelines to follow as you check the properties. After reading this book, you should be able to quickly tell if a specific property is worth your time and money. This is a good one. I mean, I'm telling you, I have probably stubbed my toe, scraped my knee most in my career by getting taken advantage of by contractors. Early on, not knowing exactly what things cost, whatever, so on and so forth. That is where you can really be taken advantage of. Like I said, it's pretty much two places. Taking the word of a real estate agent or a wholesaler or a buddy or whatever, saying that that's a good deal, and you go and buy it and you overpay for it, or you buy a property that's really not a good deal. Maybe it's not the best location, whatever it may be. You're going to get tricked there. And then, these contractors, they can smell you from a mile away. If you don't know what goes into renovation, if you don't know what things cost, they're going to take advantage of you. Okay. So that was number 8. Number 9. This is a good one for investors, my investors in California or, in New York or in Arizona, some markets where the real estate market is just really ran too high. There's not as many opportunities. Cap rates are low. So you're looking, properties are unaffordable, so you're looking for other markets outside of your own backyard to invest. Well, number 9, Long Distance Real Estate Investing, How to Buy, Rehab, and Manage Out-of-State Rental Properties by David Green. And I'm sure everyone that's listening to this show, the important thing in real estate is, most important thing, or one of them, is location. So what should you do if you live somewhere where the market is not suitable for investing at the moment? Well, this is a great book. It'll teach you how to invest in properties located elsewhere and make those an option for you, right? So David Green shows you how to succeed with your out-of-state investments. The lessons from this book should also make it easier for you to determine which specific markets are worth investing in moving forward. So I definitely recommend this one if you are an investor in some of the states that I mentioned where the real estate market is ran too high, cap rates aren't there, opportunities really aren't there, they don't make sense. Well, you still want to invest in real estate, right? It's still the option that's made most people wealthy in the entire U.S. has been real estate investing. But it's just your own backyard. It doesn't make sense. So you got to look outside of your backyard, right? America's a pretty large country. There's other markets, other states out there in the union that make better sense for the type of investments that you're looking for, or investments that fit your goals. So definitely recommend this book. All right, number 10, the last book I have here, Financial Freedom with Real Estate Investing, The Blueprint to Quitting Your Job with Real Estate Even Without Experience or Cash by Michael Blank. Wow, that sounds pretty good. Quitting my job, starting real estate, and I don't need any experience or cash. I'd love to, for those of you that fit that mold, that are looking to quit your day job and get into real estate so you can live a more fulfilling life, free life. We talk about all the time, what's your return on life? If you're making over $100,000 a year, but you hate your job or your hours are terrible, it's no way to live. I have some buddies back in Michigan that work for the big 3 and they're working 50, 60 hours a week to make over $100,000. That doesn't sound very attractive to me, right? So this is a great book to get started with that. And, obviously the allure of real estate investing is hard to resist. If you want to do it right, even without a ton of experience and money, you'll need some great tips. Okay. And I think all these books that I've mentioned will really help with that. But Michael Blank helps readers by offering pointers that will be very useful once it's time to negotiate a deal. Michael also provides tips for raising funds. If you need some extra cash, you'll also gain valuable insight into apartment building investing from his book. So that's a great one to check out too. And then finally, we have an honorable mention, which is The Passive Income Guide by yours truly. The Passive Income Guide, What is Your Return on Life by John Larson. I threw this one in there because, like I said, I promote it pretty much every time I'm on the show. It's a quick, easy read. It's only about 50 pages. We give some great information in that book. We give you, 89 questions or something like that to ask your property manager before you hire them. And you don't have to ask them all 89, but you should familiarize yourself with some of these questions when you're vetting out a property manager. Information on vacation rentals, how to earn passive income from those. Information on self-directing your IRA or 401k. Information on the difference between stocks and what are the pros of stocks, what are the cons of stocks, and related to real estate. Information on private lending, how to become a private lender, what is private lending, And then information on rentals specifically, what to look out for when you're purchasing a rental property, so you make sure you're not buying yourself a lemon. But this book is really good, really fast, quick read, very inexpensive. The foreword was written by Keith Weinhold, The Get Rich Education, which is another great podcast. If you don't listen to that one, definitely subscribe to that podcast. And, for the value of the book, you get it on Amazon. I think the ebook is like under $3, something like that. Go ahead and download that book. Read it. It's going to give you some basic principles on what we do at the Real Estate Cowboys and American Real Estate Investments. And, it just gives you some good insight. Like I said, if anything, the property management questionnaire is a big one. And also, just how to look for a good rental property. You should definitely know that stuff, because otherwise you're going to get taken advantage of. And I give a lot of good basic principles that you can read where you can decipher what is an A, B, and C class property. How do I find the most passive income rental properties out there on the market? What things should I avoid so I'm not buying a problem? I'm not buying a job. I'm not buying a money pit. Okay. So, hey, reading these 11 books, or at least some of them, will go a long way toward giving you the inside information you need to really excel in real estate investing. And if you have any other questions after reading some of these books, you can always opt in, realestatecowboysdfw.com, AREIUSA.com. A member of my team will be standing by to answer any more questions that you may have about real estate investing. You can always email me as well. You can contact me from the Real Estate Cowboys DFW website. And I'm always available to answer questions also. Or if you're the investor out there who's educated themselves enough and you're ready to take action, you want to start becoming a private lender, buying rental properties, get a vacation rental, whatever it may be, interested in investing in the growing cannabis industry, CBD. We have a CBD business as well. We have a lot of options for you, so just go to realestatecowboysdfw.com, AREIUSA.com. If you're ready to get started making money, putting your money to work for you, ready to take action, we can help you. So that's it. That's all we have for this week. So glad that you tuned in. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you go out and get some or all of these books that I just named and really, brush up on your real estate investing skills. And in the meantime, always remember, what's your return on life? Have a great week, everybody. This is John Larson signing off.
All opinions expressed by the hosts of the show are the opinions of American Real Estate Investments, LLC, and do not reflect the opinions of guests or sponsors. No personal or professional advice heard on this program should be considered an endorsement to follow a real estate financing or investment strategy. Before acting on any information, seek advice from your financial, tax, mortgage, or real estate advisor, as the information is not guaranteed and investment strategies have the potential for profit or loss.